CattleCon 2025 is underway in San Antonio, Texas. With 9 acres of trade show, educational cattlemen's college sessions, and industry leaders all in one place, big decisions are being made. Now, policy, of course, takes center stage this week, from cattle markets and export access to animal health and sustainability. But these discussions don't start here. Every policy in the NCBA book begins at the grassroots level, shaped by cattle producers across the country.
That grassroots policy development process is really the benchmark of NCBA. That is what our policy book is built upon. I always encourage producers to get involved at your state level, get involved in some policy making there. This week, I'm really excited to see the resolutions that our affiliates have brought forward. We'll be entering our policy committee meetings today and tomorrow for that discussion. I really feel like this grassroots policy development process, like you mentioned, is what gives NCBA its strength, especially when we're in DC and our staff there is advocating our policy with decision makers.
Brackett says NCBA has multiple issues they're working on to address in Washington, D.C., from passing a farm bill, animal health priorities, and addressing issues on the tax front.
We were really pleased with the 2017 tax package that President Trump put forward, and we know that's one of his priorities going forward in this next administration. We're very supportive of what his tax package was then and what we're hearing now. Of course, we need to address estate tax, we need to address stepped-up basis. We also need to keep our finger on the pulse of the Corporate Transparency Act, seeing what's going on there.
As for cattle producers' concerns over the dietary guidelines for Americans,
their recommendation to reduce red meat consumption and replace it with plant proteins, just as you said, those are great proteins, but they're not complete proteins. So the concern is removing that from Americans' recommended diets is really highly concerning for us. So we continue to present scientific data in our comments on this process. We've engaged with multiple of our partners across the country, in DC. This is a work in progress. We're hopeful to see that this administration will maybe shift gears.
As for hours of service regulations impacting livestock haulers,
getting rid of the exemption, getting rid of this ELD, making it permanent, having built that trust for our livestock haulers that they are driving safely with those longer hours. Also, a lot of talk about increasing truck weights would be very helpful in this area also. I know it's one of the top issues that our staff's working on. Again,
a lot of very important topics being discussed this week in San Antonio. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Chandler Gould, National Association of Wheat Growers CEO. The 2025 Commodity Classic is headed to Denver, Colorado in March, and I'd like to personally invite you to join fellow wheat growers for America's largest farmer-led, farmer-focused agriculture and education experience. Not to mention, it's the closest it's ever been to your farm, making it even easier for you to attend. Informative speakers on timely topics, cutting-edge ag technology in the industry's largest trade show, and more. Visit commodityclassic.com today.
Montana Farmers Union is the oldest and largest organization in the state that advocates for family farmers, ranchers, and rural communities. For over 100 years, founded on the pillars of education, cooperation, and legislation, Montana Farmers Union is a grassroots organization dedicated to fighting for the future of family farms and ranches and cultivating healthy communities. Montana Farmers Union is not only your voice in Montana, but also in Washington, D.C. For more information on how to become a member, visit MontanaFarmersUnion.com.
As we return back here in San Antonio attending CattleCon 2025, let's take a quick minute to see the statewide averages USDA is reporting for Montana cattle sold at BLS, Miles City, Livestock, and Pays. We see that feeder cattle prices trended higher this past week, with steers under 700 pounds mostly $5 to $15 higher, and those 700 weight and over were steady to $8 higher. Now, heifers saw increases of $5 to $10 higher for weights under 600 pounds, while heavier heifers were steady to $8 higher. And demand remained solid, with bred cows and stock cows maintaining firm prices. Well, that's a look at our news and markets here today from San Antonio. I'm Lee Nordlund.